Everyone, welcome to You Can Automate channel. Today we are going to discuss more about WebDriver IO autocomplete feature and how to start with the test, right? And in the last video we have seen what is WebDriver IO, what are its useful features, which are the different browsers it can automate, and what is the architecture of WebDriver IO, how to create WebDriver project, right? And if you have not gone through that particular video, please go through that video so that it will be easy to understand this video as well. Let's start with that. So this is a Visual Studio editor and I've just opened the project which we have created. Just go to file and create open file, and you just open the project folder whatever you have created. Okay, and this is how it looks whenever you open. This is the default features given by a project. Okay, now today we are going to first see the autocomplete feature. Autocomplete feature is if you are using Visual Studio Code and if you are typing something Visual Studio Code as an editor, it will help you to complete few of the things and it will make your coding easy. So that's why we need to add that autocomplete feature so that it will give all the useful features which are available in the editor. To do that, what we need to do, we need to go to WebDriver IO auto completion page. This is the auto completion page which is available in the official WebDriver website. If you go to this particular page, and they have given one configuration file. This is how the configuration file looks like. You need to create one jsconfig.json file and you need to add all these details there. Let's do that. Just copy this particular content and go to your Visual Studio Code. At the project level, just create a new file and type jsconfig.json. Okay, and just add everything here. Okay, and with that I also suggest to include one more thing. And before that, if you see here Cucumber framework, they have given example for Cucumber framework, but we are using a Mocha framework in our framework, so in our project, so that we need to change it to Mocha framework. And apart from that, we need to add one more thing, include. Okay, in the include you need to specify in which all areas you need auto completion help, right? You need to specify this. So here, if you see this, all the tests whatever I'm going to write, I'll be writing inside this test under specs under then I need to mention like all the JS file inside this, whatever comes, then give me autocomplete feature for this. Okay, then I need to mention for which all features I need auto completion, right? I need to mention this also, that but this is available in the node underscore modules underscore this. So this is a path of Mocha framework. It is available here, and I'm asking that it has to provide me all the autocomplete features for this particular path, this particular feature. If you see here, there is one small error it is showing. If you observe here, it is showing that index not found. And even if you get this particular error, why it is giving this error is the whatever the changes which you have added, it is not loaded. We need to reload it. If you are in a Windows, you need to do control, need to press. Okay, let me type it here, Windows. For Windows users, just do control plus plus shift plus P. Okay, or if you are using a Mac OS, then you need to do command plus shift plus P. Once you do this, what happens? One small window occurs. Okay, let me do this, control shift P, and this is where you need to select developer reload window. Just select that, it will reload everything, and the error whatever was showing, it will go away. Okay, cool. This is how you need to solve this particular error whatever you are getting. Now let's go to test case. Okay, whenever you create a default project, all the available WebDriver always gives you examples and some of the samples. Just delete those things if you are working on a fresh. So I have just deleted other files. I have nothing here except the node modules. So here I'm going to create one particular file, test file. I'm just clicking on the new file and I'm saying that Amazon test.js. All the tests should be saved with the .js extension. And as we are working on Mocha framework, and this is a syntax for Mocha framework, describe. Inside describe, I'm going to say that Amazon homepage test. That means that I'm going to have a number of test cases in Amazon homepage. Okay, and this is a describe, and I'm going to create a async function. Async function is a one way of defining a function, creating a function in JavaScript. If you are not familiar with the async function, please go back to my videos. There I have mentioned async functions. Okay, so these are async functions. Inside this I'm going to have my test case. What is that? My test case should be, I should be able to launch Amazon homepage. Amazon homepage, right? And this is my test case. Here I'm going to write a async function again, and this is how the async function looks like. I'm going to open a flower bracket here. Here I'm just going to launch the browser. What is a browser with a URL? What is a command to launch URL in WebDriver IO is just mention browser dot. Here if you see, it is giving you all the suggestions which all commands you need to use. I'm going to use URL. So this is a way you will mention which website to launch. Here inside this I'm going to provide my website, http colon double slash www dot amazon dot in. Okay, that's it. So this is my scenario, or you can, some people call it as a suit, and this is my test case. Here if you want, you can have a number of test cases. Inside each block is one test case, right? And this is how the test case will be presented. If you want, you can add more number of test cases here. This is the first program, first test case for us, where we are launching a Amazon website. Okay, now we are done with the test case creation. So now how to execute this? So in WebDriver IO, you can straight away execute this particular command by using npx wdio run, and you need to specify what is the configuration file, that is wdio-conf.js. So what is this conf.js is, it will have all the configuration for your entire automation framework. It will specify what all different packages, different features, different which browser you are going to use, all that will be mentioned. As of now the Chrome browser is a default one, so okay, and that's why it will launch this particular URL in the Chrome browser. So this is a command to run this particular test case. Let me execute this and see whether Amazon website get launched in a Chrome browser or not. So if you see, amazon.in got launched. That's it, our test case got passed. Here if you see, this is what it is showing in the logs. Okay, and let's see this wdio-conf.js, what it is and what all things are there in this. Okay, if you see this, by default WebDriver IO will create this wdio-conf.js. Here it will give you all, by default it will give you all the details. Here if you want to change it, you can change it. For example, spec file is nothing but a test cases. It is mentioning that specs files are present in this particular folder, test specs. Under this it can be .js. And if you want to exclude any of the test cases, this is how you can exclude. And if you see here capability, if you see here capabilities like 10 instance of browser can be launched. That is how it is defaultly configured. If you want to change it, you can change it. The capabilities here, it is mentioning which browser you want to run. That is a Chrome. By default it is a Chrome. And log level, in the logs whatever you are seeing here, what you want, just information or only errors. If you want to see only errors, then you can change it to error like this. Okay. And base URL is like, as of now it is a local host. We are not using this base URL directly, we are giving the website URL in our test. If you want to specify particular base URL, then you can specify here. Maximum wait for timeout, that means that for any of the web element, any of the commands to execute, and maximum time it will wait for this 10,000 seconds, 10,000 milliseconds. Okay. And retry timeout, connection retry timeout. And it will have a services. What is this services is? For to execute our test in our Chrome browser, we need a Chrome driver, right? This is one of the services which will be provided by WebDriver IO. If you want to execute in a different browsers, then you need to have a different services that we are going to discuss in detail later. And then framework is a Mocha framework. There are three types of framework. One of them is a Mocha framework. As of now, we are going to use a Mocha framework. And reporter, as of now by default it is a spec reporter. And some of the Mocha options that we will see in detail. And yeah, that's all. Okay. So this is about WebDriver IO, WDIO conf.js. Okay. And today we have just seen how to configure our web Visual Studio Code, and how to add particular test case just to launch one of the website. Okay. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Thank you.